Now, when I originally mentioned that this thing was built to be idiot resistant, I can't say idiot proof because nothing in this world is idiot proof. And then again, I may be an idiot myself for taking it apart this way. So one of the problems here, and it's not really a problem. So when I say idiot resistant, these things are not only idiot resistant to the people that are operating them, they're idiot resistant to the people that put them together. This thing has a flat spot in it. Okay, which is very common with fittings like this. It saves a lot of aggravation for a lot of things, and it's easy to mold a flat spot into this. So this doesn't thread in, this just pushes in, and then once the flat spot engages, then it can either be, it can only go in one way, so you can access this little pushy thing. Now the problem with that is this hose is round. So I'm going to take this step drill here, which you notice I cut the end off of because it got dull years ago, and I cut the end off because I needed the 7/16 to the 7/8, 3/4. So I'm just going to step drill this thing out a little. I got to move it a shot here. Go, that went just exactly the way I wanted it to, and without fail I got debris in the hose. Before I set this shot up, I actually had actually moved this hose out of the way so it wouldn't get stuff in it. Obviously that didn't work. Alright, so now that fits in there perfectly. I'm going to stick the hose clamp on this side. Now this will just keep it from pulling out. It will not keep it from pushing in. So I'm going to grab another hose clamp, and I'm going to put a hose clamp on either side of this. Remember, kids, put the hose clamp on before you put the hose on, and the ferrule on before you flare a hose. Okay, so we're going to stick that on in through there. Nice. This hose clamp is more to just hold this in place than it is to provide clamping pressure on the hose. This hose and these barbs are pretty tight, and this is low pressure on this side. This is this is like 15 psi max. When I took this apart, it actually had a zip tie. This is a piece of silicone hose on the inside of this, and I'm just going to use another zip tie on this fitting here. Now you have to be kind of careful because inside of here is a big flywheel. Okay, so that moves. So you want to make sure your hoses and anything that you futz with on the inside of this stay away from that flywheel. Right, so that's pulled into position. I'm going to put a zip tie on it the exact same way it was done from the factory. I'm going to fire this thing up and leak check it before I put the cover back on. I took the cover off this because, quite frankly, I wanted to see what the inside looked like, and I wanted to make sure it wasn't packed with like cat hair or anything. Cat hair, dog hair, bird feathers, whatever nastiness, whatever nastiness is in there. Now, I'm gonna trim that off, make it nice and razor sharp, so the next time I stick my hand in there, I cut the piss out of myself. Oh yeah, look at that. Works better. I have another pair of these dikes, and that's what I did with them. I saw somewhere somebody said something that you should twist these off. It was an acorn to Arabella that somebody recommended to twist them off. Not to the, it was like a commenter, not the actual dudes. All right, I'm gonna pull this out of frame. Oh, it's still in frame, okay. And, okay, now, that's that. So we have eliminated, I intentionally eliminated this valve. I'm gonna save it, I'm gonna throw it into my hoard, but it's basically useless. All right, now, next step. I'm gonna do a wide shot real quick here. I don't have anywhere else to mount this stupid thing. So I'm gonna mount it in a really bad spot, which is right here by this door. This is the in-out door of my garage here. Now, for years there was a welding cart here, so it's not like it's going to be anything more else in the way. It's just what I got going on. The other thing is I put the oxygen compressors or condensers. So this is the compressor, okay, and I have the cover off of it. I'm going to put the cover back on, but I want to show how I mounted this thing first. The condensers are mounted under my bench, and I haven't plumbed them in yet. And the compressor is mounted here on the wall. Now, to mount the compressor, I got really lazy. I went to Depot, and part of my $96 I pissed away there, I bought those 2 metal brackets. Now, unbeknownst to me, because I'm lazy, and I don't ever think too far ahead when I do stuff like this, there's actually holes in the bottom of this thing I could have used to mount it. There's actually already holes in the bottom. So there's a hole. Whoop, there's a hole there. There's a couple holes that are already pre-drilled. They're too small, but they're pre-drilled holes. So I just put 1/4-20s. I drilled holes. I made very careful. Was very careful to make sure I didn't hit that hose or not to hit any of the gizmos in here. This thing spins, so you have to be very careful that nothing's touching this. That's a that there is a fantastic way to get a hole in a hose. So before I put this back together completely, I already blew it out, but before I put it back together completely, I'm going to very carefully look around that flywheel to make sure there's nothing touching it.